Hi, I'm IELTS Mike. Wouldn't it be fantastic to go to your IELTS speaking test and when you got to part 2 and got the question to answer in part 2, you'd already seen it. You'd already had time to think about it, to think about what you're going to say, to prepare some vocabulary, to prepare what ideas you're going to talk about, to even perhaps practice talking about it, to even perhaps have a model answer. Don't you think you're going to do much better than if you've never ever seen this question before? This is what this video is about. I'm going to be introducing to you some of the current questions that are in the IELTS test. Now, I'm going to create 5 videos because we've got a lot of questions to look at. I've divided them under the 5 themes that I've identified for the test: people, places, things, activities, experiences. Now, in this particular video, I'm going to focus on places. If you want to see some of the other topics or themes, you can have a look below in the description at the links, or at the end of the video, I'm going to provide you with links to the other videos. Describe a city you once went to with your family.
I would like to talk about a city that I went to with my parents, and the city is Taipei. My mother has relatives in Taipei, and so a couple of years ago we all went to Taipei to visit them. I'd never actually seen them before, so that was quite an exciting thing to experience. And I was really quite amazed at how developed Taipei is. It's really quite a beautiful city. There's very good infrastructure. There's a lot of trains within the city itself, so you can go from one place to another very quickly, very easily, very comfortably. And there are also many places of interest to go to. One place we went to was the National Palace Museum, which is full of different things that were actually taken from mainland China during the Second World War. There are paintings, jade, books, porcelain, and it goes on and on and on as to what you can actually see there. I've actually heard it would take 11 years in total to see everything, because every 6 months they actually change the exhibits, and it would actually take 11 years to see everything. The food in Taipei was very good indeed. Of course, basically Chinese in character, but there are also different cuisines from other countries like France, Germany, Japan, and so on. So I really had a wonderful time there. The relatives were very happy to see us, and we hope to go again soon to see them.
Describe a time that you visited a park.
I actually visit a park very, very often, but I'd like to talk now about a time that I went to a park when there was a special event on at the park. So this was probably last year, if I remember correctly, and I went with my family and some friends of theirs and some of my friends, so there was quite a big group of us. And the event was actually a country fair, which was very interesting because we live in a big city, but this was a country fair bringing in different arts and crafts from the countryside to show us how things are made. And this is something we don't usually have the opportunity to see, and so that was fascinating. But also, apart from all of these things that they were making and selling, they had brought lots of different produce from various parts of China. There were different things to eat, different things to drink. You also had the chance to sample many of these different things as well. So it was really great fun going from stall to stall, talking to the different people. Sometimes it was actually not so easy to understand them because of their accents, very different to the accent I'm used to. But it was a very, very wonderful time, and I believe they're trying to make this an annual event now.
Describe a place where you read and write.
I'd like to talk about a place that I love to go to read and write, and that is actually my local coffee shop. The coffee shop is very close to where I live. It's just around the corner, in fact, and it takes me no more than a couple of minutes to get there. So the first thing is it's very convenient to get there, but also it's a very quiet place, and when I'm reading and writing, I like to be in a place where I'm not disturbed. So I usually go there on my own, although I have been there with other people, but not to read and write, just to socialize. The place is not very big, but it's cozy, it's comfortable. The service is very good, and because I go there quite often, I know the people who work there and I know the owners, and they sometimes chat with me as well. And they have lovely tea, coffee, they have cake which they actually bake themselves. And so it really is a very special place to go. It's not such a modern place, and what I mean by that is that they haven't used modern furniture. They've used wooden furniture, but old style. And they even have curtains in the windows. And it really gives a very oldie worldy cottage type feeling to the place. It's actually quite popular, and you would think that that would make it very noisy, but in fact most people who go there are a little like me in the sense that they want to read or write or just basically relax, and if they do talk, they talk quietly.
Describe a school you went to in your childhood.
When I was quite young, my mother started work again, and so I had to go somewhere, and my mother took me to a kindergarten. This was my first experience of being in a school type environment, and it took about 10 minutes to get there by car, and my mother would take me there before she went to work and then collect me in the afternoon. It was quite a large place as far as I remember, but of course when you're young everything seems to be much bigger than it really is when you're an adult. But my recollection is that it was a big place with quite a few teachers there. I think there were probably 8 or 9 different classrooms altogether, and of course there was at least one teacher per classroom, but sometimes they had an assistant as well. And when I was studying there, they taught me basic Chinese, but also they were actually teaching English as well. So I had the chance to start learning English when I was really quite young. I learnt the alphabet, the ABCs, numbers, and very simple conversations. And I really felt very happy there. And as I got older, of course, I had to go to mainstream schools. And I was really quite disappointed when I had to leave, but it was a very good start to my education.
Describe a place you remember well that is full of colours.
I recently traveled to Shanghai and visited the China Art Museum, which is housed in the former Expo 2010 China Pavilion. It is an impressive structure both in its size, being the largest museum in Asia, and its architecture. Inside is spacious, so they can accommodate the crowds of people that visit, usually on the weekends or during the holidays. The viewing areas are also large, and there are numerous places to sit and rest before proceeding to the next exhibit. Entrance is free, and it features modern and contemporary works by Chinese artists, including traditional Chinese paintings, oil paintings, and sculptures. Not only is the building itself a bold red color, the landscaping outside featured many colorful flower beds that are breathtaking. The artwork inside also has a huge variety of colors. There is so much to see. If you are into art, you will need at least half a day to see everything, and that's just a quick scan. You will need a whole day or 2 days if you want to soak in all the details. After spending most of the day there, I was exhausted. I found a quiet restaurant which featured a delicious Peking duck dish, which I enjoyed very much, and then just chilled out with some drinks until returning to my hotel to get a much-needed rest.
So I hope you found this video useful, and you might now want to watch the other 4 videos on the other 4 themes that I haven't covered in this video. Questions and comments are most welcome. You can leave them in the comment section below. And another thing that would be really great is if you take a test and you get a different question than I've outlined in my videos, please share it in the comment section below. This would be of great benefit to myself and also other people that are taking an IELTS test.